Did you know that a staggering 80% of remote teams struggle with leadership effectiveness? In today's video, we're diving into the core issues that plague remote leadership and how you can overcome them to lead your team to success. Stay tuned to transform your leadership skills and make a real impact. With the rise of remote work, leaders must adapt to managing teams that are not physically present. This requires a new set of skills, including effective communication, empathy, and the ability to foster a strong culture virtually. I've personally spent over 10 years just in leading remote teams and can attest to the challenges in feeling connected to my staff. I will be covering some key areas that have helped me tremendously, and you can get started today. Here are 5 challenges that you will encounter with managing a remote team. Number 1, communication barriers. Remote teams often face difficulties in maintaining clear and effective communication. This can lead to misunderstandings and a lack of alignment on goals and tasks. To mitigate this, leaders should establish regular check-ins and use collaborative tools like Slack or Microsoft Teams to keep everyone on the same page. Number 2, lack of team cohesion. Building a sense of team unity is harder than when members are not physically present. This can result in feelings of isolation and disengagement. Leaders can foster cohesion by organizing virtual team building activities and encouraging informal interactions through virtual coffee breaks, my favorite. Number 3, time zone differences. Coordinating across different time zones can be challenging, leading to delays and reduced productivity. Leaders should be mindful of scheduling meetings at times that are convenient for all team members and consider asynchronous communication methods to accommodate different working hours. Number 4, performance monitoring. Tracking the performance of remote employees can be more complex. Leaders should focus on outcomes rather than hours worked and use project management tools to monitor progress. Number 5, technology issues. Remote work relies heavily on technology, and technical issues can disrupt workflow. Leaders should ensure that team members have access to reliable technology and provide support for troubleshooting problems. Here are 5 effective strategies to focus on and apply to your own unique managing situation. Number 1, building trust in remote teams. Trust is a cornerstone of every effective remote leadership. I've discussed the importance of gaining trust with your team. Check out my other video, How Honesty Leads to Trust. For building and maintaining trust, regular one-on-one check-ins work well to keep the pulse on your staff. Transparent communication through honesty and fostering a culture of accountability. Instill with your staff how their words matter and commitment to delivering with quality. Number 2, effective communication tools and techniques. If I could boil down the most important attribute to have as a manager, it would be communication. In a remote environment, you will need to leverage some additional techniques to keep communication at the forefront of your strategies. Examples are video conferencing tools, like I mentioned before, Slack, MS Teams, project management software. I've used Jira by Atlassian. You could use Gantt charts from Zoho, or keep it simple with MS Excel or Google Sheets. And don't forget to schedule structured virtual meetings with clear purpose, talking points, and what your staff may need to contribute to the meeting. For example, updates looking for, slides, issues they've encountered. Number 3, remote team motivation and engagement. Keeping your remote team motivated and engaged is a continuous pulse to check. This could involve virtual team building activities, recognition of team or individual accomplishments, and meeting topics that reinforce the positive team culture you are envisioning. Number 4, managing remote team performance. Big important area. Through my more than 20 years of leading teams, this can be boiled down to setting expectations and regularly communicating with the employee if we are still aligned. Smaller teams may do this more informally and not have the structure or formality that a larger corporate company may have with annual reports to HR. The strategy and communication should remain the same, whether informal or formal. You are the manager responsible for making sure your staff are clear on where they stand with their expectations. Too many novice or ill-equipped managers shy away from communicating a misalignment with employees until it's too late. Don't. Your staff should never be caught off guard or surprised. You owe it to your team to be open and honest with the areas to improve on. Also to balance improvements with what they are excelling at. This keeps a good balance approach to the communicating overall performance. I like to cover the topic of performance during my one-on-ones. This keeps any possible misalignment with my expectations small and yet easy to talk about and correct. If your company is doing formal annual performance reviews, then you just need to roll up all your staff discussions throughout the year for a much better representation of them meeting expectations, making corrections, self-growth, and their milestone and accomplishments. Number 5, work-life balance for remote workers. This is an important strategy to customize for your team down to the individual level. Your staff will have different real-world life events that should be looked at to see how it can fit into the overall work schedule and demands. It could be looking after the children, medical appointments, working while on vacation, or illness, working whenever you're able to. Managing a remote team will challenge the status quo you may have been accustomed to before with a typical 9-to-5 in-office environment. Remote managing can offer you a more connected experience with your staff, with precious insight to their lives and building a much deeper level of trust. Take the time to see how you can still deliver on your team work demands and make allowances for your staff to blend their normal lives more seamlessly. In the end, it will come down to setting expectations again and monitoring overall performance. Trust in your staff that they can manage their lives and work commitments. My hopes are that the 5 effective strategies discussed will give you the needed inspiration and direction to make your remote team more effective and grow team trust further into a stellar work culture. I encourage my viewers to share their own remote leadership experiences and challenges in the comment section. I recommend the following playlist to complement your exciting journey to make your remote team the best it could be. And be sure to subscribe for more leadership insight. See you soon.